Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Masters of the Universe Classics Shokoti figure. The second figure in the Filmation subscription, Shokoti comes straight out of one of the most memorable episodes of the classic He-Man cartoon series. Even though she only made the one appearance, she left enough of an impression that fans have wanted her in action figure form for years now. Now that she's here, let's see how she turned out. She comes in the familiar Masters of the Universe Classics blister card packaging. The back shows off a selection of other characters in the line, and gives us a brand new bio for Shokoti. So let's go ahead and take a look at her outside of the packaging. I must say right away that the sculpt on this figure is absolutely gorgeous. Her hair is pulled back behind a golden tiara. Her eyes are a solid black with evil, but even still, there is some definite beauty to her. The colors on the figure are very bright and vibrant. Even though she wears a dark arrangement, she's still very colorful with an outfit of black and blue with gold highlights in areas like the gold skull on her pelvis. A bright red cape drapes off the back of her shoulders, and her skin tone is a nice bright blue very similar to fellow Gar Keldor. As far as the sculpt and the paint goes on this figure, she does quite an amazing job of capturing the look of the character right out of the cartoon series. There are a few minor changes though. First, you'll notice that the points on her tiara are very round. That's really not that unusual, as toy companies like Mattel have always rounded off the pointy parts for safety standards, and in my opinion, that doesn't really hurt the look of this figure at all. Also, we do have a change to her loincloth piece. Shokoti is another female character who wore the leotard-type outfit in the cartoon, but translated into figure form, she wears more of a skirt piece. It's similar to what we saw with Octavia, but not quite as pointed. And even if I prefer the leotard look from the cartoon, I will say that the skirt piece does look pretty good on this particular figure. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a closer look at Shokoti here. Now, for the most part, she's just a regular female buck. I mean, there's nothing really spectacular going on with this figure. Nothing out of the ordinary, I guess, is what I'm meaning to say. The head is able to turn left and right, slightly moves up and down very well. There's really no hindrance, even though her hair hangs over the back. You can see it's just like any of the other female figures we've had over the years. It works just fine. The cape is made of a nice soft plastic, so it folds around, it bends, doesn't hinder the articulation whatsoever. The ball joints at the arms there are able to go outwards, forwards, backwards, swivels at the biceps, standard joint at the elbow, swivels at the wrist. She's got the swivel at the waist there, no torso crunch, of course. You can see she does have that skirt piece there. It's very soft and flexible. This allows the figure to be able to get in a full sitting position. Also lets the legs go outwards, forwards, backwards. Very good articulation there. They also have the swivel that is more up here towards the top of the thigh. So the swivel goes there. She's got the standard joints at the knees. She's got the twists at the boot cut there. And then she's got that awesome ankle articulation where the ankles go forwards, backwards, and also have the rockers so that they go side to side. Luckily on this one, her ankles are not near as loose as I had with Octavia. They are a little looser than I'd like them to be, but I haven't had any issues with balancing her or anything like that. So much better on this particular figure here. The only other thing really worth noting is that cape piece. It is removable. We can just pop the head off, just like any of the standard figures. It just pops right off the ball joint there. And as you can see, the shoulder pads and the collar are all molded with that cape, and you can just slip it right off the neck there. And that way, if you wanted to display her without the cape, you can just pop the head back on, and she's ready to go. Now her bodice piece is glued onto the buck there. You can move it around a little bit on the back, very similar to what we've seen with Evelyn, Teal, and stuff like that. But just like any of the other female figures, the outfit is glued onto the body there. So There you go. That's pretty much it. Closer look at Shokoti. All the articulation is nice and tight and very standard on this particular figure.
Now, Shokoti doesn't include any weapons, but she does include one very cool pack-in accessory. Straight from the episode she appeared in is one of her little minions known as the Darklings. The sculpt of this guy is incredibly cool and perfectly captures the creepy look from the cartoon. This green tentacled monster features one eye and 3 mouths with bright blue lips. He's a solid piece with no articulation, and he does stand pretty good on the tentacles underneath him. Now in the show, these little guys flew around. I think it would have been really cool to actually see a clear flight stand included, similar to what we got with Orko, but it didn't come with one. So that's my only real nitpick here, because otherwise I absolutely adore this accessory. Shokoti is a really gorgeous action figure. Overall, I'm very happy with how she turned out. This is a character that I've always wanted to have an action figure of ever since the vintage toy line, so it's awesome to finally get to add her to the collection. Being a big fan of the classic Filmation cartoon series, I think it's great we can finally get some of these side villains in toy form. Plus, that little Darkling pack-in is one of the best accessories to date. Shokoti will be available in August and is the second figure in the Masters of the Universe Classics Filmation subline. Until next time,